and shine, my friends. I'm V Spear.
And I'm Sami Sage.
And for the very last time, this is American Fever Dream presented by Betches News.
A show that is not crying because it's over, but is happy because it happened.
Yes.
You know, this isn't The Last of Us that you'll be seeing.
No, it's just the last of this particular iteration of the show. We're doing different stuff. Just because political chit-chat show is too much for people. But by the time we say something 3 hours later, it's crazy. So we're going to do more live stuff. Yes.
You'll get a Substack thing. But, you know, this won't be the last you'll hear from us, but it will be the last you hear from us on this particular channel on Tuesday mornings with this regular cadence.
And this will be the last time you see this shirt. Don't worry about that either. Okay, so I got this shirt in Texas at a boot barn because I wanted a souvenir. And for like literally 2 years now, I've been trying to wear it. And I was like, okay, it's like too much, but it's not for today. It's a celebration shirt for today.
It's perfect for today.
It is a fever dream of a shirt, if you will.
Perhaps if you had headed to a Trump rally at any point.
Well, I thought I could wear it on even like 4th of July or something, but I was like, no, it's too much.
No, it's too...
Not in this economy.
No, not in this state of New York. Maybe upstate. I don't know. We're just going to let it rip today. We just collected a bunch of thoughts, random thoughts that we're going to discuss as usual. We're not even going to pretend to give it a structure. First thing I want to talk about, Sydney Sweeney and that American Eagle commercial.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Here's the thing. American Eagle is a Jewish-owned company. I don't know if a lot of people know that because the point that's out here right now is that it's eugenicsy, it's Nazi-ish. And not to say that it's not, because it is eugenicsy and Nazi-ish. But American Eagle is a Jewish-owned company. And so I was like, okay. I just think it's stupid. I think they were so... I think this is why you need diversity on teams, because literally anybody from a marginalized background would have told you that this is a red flag.
Here's my take on this is that if you watch it without sound, it actually is totally fine. Mm-hmm. So it seems really weird that people are calling it eugenicsy just based on if you only watch it without sound. Mm-hmm. It's actually kind of a good commercial.
I get the idea.
But for a while, I didn't even see it without sound.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm just going to let it roll, see what people keep saying. And then I watched it with sound. And it's the script that leads up to the end where it says Sydney Sweeney has good genes. Yeah. That is weird. That's like the eugenicsy part.
Also, people are like,
something I noticed.
Sydney Sweeney, SS. I'm like, no. Okay, no. Sure.
I mean,
you know what? I'm not going to defend it. I'm not going to defend it. I think it's more based in ignorance, stupidity, and white supremacy as like an oopsie than it was maybe like intentionally made to be secretly eugenicsy. I think it's like casual white supremacy leaked into this ad.
Right. If anything, it reveals how like foundational it is rather than reveals how Nazi-esque the brand is.
They were like, oh, that was Nazi-ish? We thought it was so cute.
Honestly, like I really think if they just cut the script, it would be a good ad. And would be so much more.
I struggle with her, Sammy. I struggle with
Nazi-esque.
I struggle with her
Why?
Because I loved her in the movie Winner. She plays Reality Winner. She's a phenomenal actress. It's such a great story. You know, I like root for Reality Winner, the actual person in real life. And then she does stupid shit like this. And then I feel weird like talking about the movie because all her drama is like attached to this woman who just needs to get justice for being unfairly put in jail.
She doesn't get to object to the script. That's the thing. Like she's just going to say what they tell her to say. That's her job.
Best wishes to you, Sydney Sweeney. I think you lost the internet, bud.
Honestly, I don't know. I think that it's definitely like a culture war thing where it's if you fall on one side, you're like, these people are crazy. I don't see the white supremacy part. And then if you fall on another side or have like a little bit of media literacy, you would see that it's definitely a dog whistle at least.
They
Whether
still
that's
gave,
intentional is another question.
They still gave Nicole Scherzinger the Tony Award after she did all that MAGA stuff. So I don't know. Maybe people have short memories.
Yeah, half the country is MAGA.
Well, and the other part of it being that the genes go towards 100% of the profits or proceeds go towards domestic violence organizations. So then people are being like, there was a mission to it. And I'm like, this is why I think it wasn't intentionally dog whistly so much as casual shittiness. Casual, we don't even recognize white supremacy and this kind of horribleness because we just
honestly, I think it would be a great commercial, and you'd get the point without the Nazi part if they just cut the script out. Like, just leave it or put music or something, and you can even put Sydney Sweeney as good jeans because that's actually because obviously she's very hot.
Yeah.
Do I have to explain it?
Yeah,
and she has good American Eagle jeans.
Right.
Anyway.
Last point on this. People say that this was the best campaign that American Eagle ever did, or this is the biggest get that American Eagle ever had as far as celebrities go. And I will redirect you to the 2023 Pride Summer Olivia Ponton collection, which was actually very thoughtfully done and quite cute. So,
well, Sydney Sweeney is Sydney Sweeney,
I'm
but
just
here's
saying.
the thing. I bet it's also the biggest check they ever wrote.
It
So
sure
money
is.
can buy you a big name.
Well, maybe you should have just got Olivia back. We didn't have problems with her little campaign. She did a great job, and I'm very proud of her.
It's not Sydney Sweeney's fault. It's
know.
It's the script. Like she can't really challenge it.
Yeah. So, moving on.
Anyway, I've said that like 4 times because I just want to talk about Hunter Biden and his interview.
To another fashionable fellow with good jeans? Question mark. What? It's
it kind of
different
feels like-
jeans? Question mark. Biden jeans. We're going to talk about Biden's jeans now.
If you close your eyes, it's sort of like you hear Joe Biden explaining how to make crack cocaine to you.
Yes, it is. He's very Biden-esque. Remember we met him on Hanukkah at the White House? And
You did.
I did.
I didn't.
And I came over and I told her, I was like, I met Hunter Biden, and I'm going to tell you right now, as a full-time, lifelong lesbian, I get why women run away with him and do drugs in bathtubs. He is incredibly charismatic. There is something like very otherworldly about Hunter Biden that is just like the room stops when he speaks to you, and like, I don't know how to explain it. He's got riz, as the kids say.
If you look at photos of him from like the early 2010s,
Joe Biden
he's
was
like
a
in
hottie.
his prime there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Jill Biden. Look, I mean, not that Jill Biden's his mother, but whatever. They're very good looking. And I agree with you. He has a lot of charisma. He also is very much a regular person in terms of like
He is. He's good hang.
He watched the guy who was the interviewer. Like that's someone he watches on TikTok.
Yeah.
He watches you on TikTok.
does.
He watches Alex Perlman on
Yes,
TikTok.
he does.
And also like he walked into a random Delaware computer repair place.
He's just
What the fuck?
a guy. He's just a little guy, Hunter. But he is incredibly dynamic, and people were surprised how much he swears. That's a Biden thing. They
That's
swear
very
like
unsurprising.
constantly. It's an Irish Catholic thing though too. Let's bring up my medals. How long has it been since we made a religious reference? This might be our longest.
It's been what, 6 minutes?
6 minutes in, we already dropped the Catholic. He's just They were like, I'm so surprised he swore so much and he called people out so much. We were standing in the White House and he was asking about at that time if AOC had gotten the oversight chair, and she didn't because Nancy Pelosi put her finger on the scale and that old guy who passed away, whose name I don't remember now.
Connolly.
Yeah, got it. And he literally starts shouting in the White House on Hanukkah, mind you. Fuck Nancy Pelosi, right? Fuck her. Fuck her and what she did to my dad. Fuck her and what she's doing to AOC. Fuck her and what she's doing to the future Democratic Party. I was like, ah. But that's how he talks.
not wrong.
No, he's very defensive of his father, as we saw.
Well, the thing is, like, he's not wrong about her, but not necessarily for the right reasons. Like,
Yes.
like I do think that the family they're sort of, and you see this with other families where I think there's like family supremacy. Do you know what I mean? Like there's some families that just feel like they are like, we're very proud to be like,
We are
us,
the
and we're
American
very,
family. Yeah, we're special.
but not just with like famous families. Like you could have this in
like
just
in your
sort of
town?
like
Yeah.
in your town. Yeah. Like they think like they're the best. Like there's this like incredible pride in being part of this family. And because you are part of it, you like can't be wrong almost. Like by default, you guys are right. Cause
Who's the family in your hometown?
I would have to think about it.
Okay, I'll tell you who mine is. Simonetti.
No, don't do that.
No, it's
Okay?
good in
You
a good
can't
way.
just call them out
no,
here.
I'm saying in a good way. Simonetti is the name of like the town. Okay, so I came from Shelton.
Oh, the town, not the people.
No, it's the name of the people who are like the family of that town, I'm saying. And not in a bad way. They're wonderful people. But it's like Shelton, Connecticut is very synonymous with the Simonetti family because they have Simonetti cleaners. They own the funeral home. They own the nursing home. They own shops downtown. They were the pharmacist. But Simonetti is like the name you think of when you think of Shelton, Connecticut.
Okay, I hear that. Honestly, my obvious family's kind of like this, where like Sages are winners. Like we win. I'm like, oh, can you just like relax?
Yeah.
Like it's what if you don't like?
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, like that kind of energy where, and the Bidens have that. And obviously I think that really played into how his term ended and even why he ran for president in 2020, 2024. It really, like they all kind of judge each other up. And I don't know, it had me thinking that the Bidens and the Trumps are kind of like, they're not mirror images of each other, but they're sort of both examples of like extremes of American family dysfunction.
Yeah.
The difference being that like the Bidens strive to embody good values in public service and they want to have that shine, even if it's not perfect. And then the Trumps like spurn the value of humanity and they cheat and they lie and they don't care. And America basically got to choose which one they wanted. And they looked at the two options and they saw that Trump was that latter version felt more true to them and, you know, thought that was going to be a stronger representation. And the Bidens just kind of looked like enfeebled at the end.
They did. Also, Trump makes it look like it's okay to cheat to win as long as you win. And I think that people saw that as an easier path because playing by the rules hasn't been working out for Americans in many ways. And so even though he's a grifter and a liar and a charlatan, this idea that like, fuck the system, it fucked me, I'm going to win anyway. You would do it to me too if you had the chance. That sort of ruthlessness is something that I think people resonated with, especially as this country continues to have wage stagnation, student loan debt crisis, can't buy a house, food is expensive. So they're like, I played by all the rules. I did what I was supposed to, and I still got shit. I'm going to be like a Trump and just like bulldoze my way into the next thing. Or maybe they thought that he was going to open a path for them that the academic elite didn't or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I keep coming back to. Like, there's so many people in the world, and there's so many, and even one person's decision or reasoning for something is not like fixed. So, yeah, some people thought, screw this system, and why wouldn't you? If you're that sort of swing voter that we know is very much in play, and your industry and your towns have been totally hollowed out, and every big policy is just a transfer of wealth to the wealthier, like COVID, and you're going to fall for Trump. You're going to fall for that, and you're going to feel like you want that to represent you, especially in contrast to Biden, who they think lied too. Like there's this equivalency.
They also think he talked down to them, right? Trump made it okay for you to say the F slur and the R word, and that felt like you got something. And Biden was like, we're going to be the best, and we're going to be, you know.
I mean, even Biden, like when the Supreme Court released that immunity decision for Trump and Biden comes out and he makes a speech and he's like, I'm not going to make use of that decision. It's like, first of all, they weren't going to let you. But it's this like, oh, well, I'll play by the rules and you should all play by the rules because that America still exists where you can play by the rules and win. But people are like, no, it doesn't. I've observed this I've lived it for, 2 decades at least. And yeah, I think that really, like Hunter and Don Jr. also strike me as sort of similar, but like Hunter's the real version, and Don Jr. is the one that like is, I don't know.
They're both the same kind of wannabe daddy's boy and
fail sons.
Yeah, and it's just not going to work out that way. To come off of these two families for a quick second, though, this is why I say I don't vote for any political dynasty. I don't want Christine Pelosi to be the next senator from California or congresswoman or whatever the hell they're trying to plan for that. I would never vote for a Chelsea Clinton. I think what the Obamas have done with their children is really incredible, and the fact that like the daughters are not even using their last name on their new projects. They're just using their first name or some other brand name. Like they're not trying to be a part of a political dynasty. They're like, we are private citizens. We want to be. Obviously, they have privilege.
I mean, everyone knows who they are.
Of course,
but also
everyone
their
has
mother,
privilege, but they're not trying to like make this a political dynasty. And also,
it's because their mother hates it.
right? Because she sees what it is. The Clintons, you know, Chelsea's not in politics, but she has like her own nonprofits and all this kind of stuff. I'm not here. The reason why we did America, the original ethos of this was no political dynasties, no kings, no nobility, no aristocracy. And we're sort of seeing that all the time now, even with Adelita getting her father's seat in Arizona's District 7 and recognize that she's a wonderful progressive and all these different things. But there's this kind
it's like of all the people, you're the best because it's your dad.
And that you ran on, it was my father's seat. No, it wasn't. It was District 7 Arizona's seat. There is this whole idea of it's my father's, it's my whatever's. I, who loved the Kennedys, am starting to think the Kennedys are, like we said, what the Kennedys are kind of a scam. What's going on with the Kennedys right now? I can't even like the Kennedys, which is like something fun and American to do most of the time.
Well, I think it's problematic how people look at the Kennedys, and then you have someone like RFK Jr. who gets that shine from being a Kennedy.
That he would
when you
never
actually
have had
look,
otherwise.
I mean, he would be like probably in prison. Let's
Yeah.
be honest. I told you that I recently read that book, Ask Not, about the Kennedy women, and the shit these people did and proudly got away with every day is so disgusting. It's like the Trumps almost. It
Well,
really
there's
is.
no way you
It's
can't-
different. It's different.
It
'cause
isn't.
it's
It
less-
isn't. Fred Trump and Joe Kennedy, the dad, the grandpa,
Quite
whatever,
similar.
Very similar. Very similar type
Yes.
of toxic American ambition, if you want to call it that.
Like, here's what I would say about the Kennedys. People talk about the Kennedy curse. There is no curse. They are just each, there's so many of them, and they're each so reckless every single day of their lives that eventually you're going to hurt
Gonna
yourself.
happen- or others.
And
Yeah.
or others
And-
frequently. And I think that it's really underrated. Their crimes are not victimless. The way that they've treated people, RFK Jr. is the relevant one now, but the way that some of these men have treated people and that they live off their name and they do not get in trouble because they are Kennedys is so messed up. And it also speaks to this two-tier justice system that we have now that I think is really apparent to people, especially when it comes to the Epstein stuff. And that's why I think people are not just going to like let it go. But yeah, you're a Kennedy, so you get whatever you want.
Jack Schlossberg again, he's a Kennedy, right? So he's eccentric and there's all these things with it. I'm just like, I don't know what I think the Kennedys owe me, right? Like, they don't owe me or this country shit. They're just some other family, but they are sort of like, when you think of American families, they're the one that comes up. And Jack does get a lot of opportunity because he's, the only grandson of Jackie and JFK and whatnot. And then I'm like, Jack, what are you doing, my boy? I'm so concerned that you're squandering an opportunity or a moment or something but I'm also twice his age and I don't fucking know. Maybe this slaps for some people what he's doing.
I mean, I don't follow him like so closely that I can speak to be an expert on him, but my feeling on him was always like, oh, it's a joke. It's all a performance. Like, this whole thing is a performance.
I think it was at one point, and now I wonder if. But I think what scares me is the level of power that Kennedys have, and what started off as something that felt very powerful and in line with like progressive values and maybe like getting young people to vote or doing whatever is now feeling a little bit, sometimes often extremely toxic and accidentally homophobic, accidentally misogynist in his humor. Some stuff like that freaks me out a little.
Well, I don't follow closely enough to know like exactly what he said or what, like, I can't speak to every statement, but my feeling is more that like, he can do this performance because of who he is and not have people think this man's insane. Like that's the difference is it's like, everyone's like, oh, the Kennedy kid is doing this weird stuff. It's like, okay, I get it, I guess, but he's
very upset about the new JFK Jr. documentary type show that a lot of people are doing. JFK Jr.'s back, baby. He's back, and he's like a Princess Diana figure for a lot of people, where we're like very obsessed with him. Yeah, but you know, Ryan Murphy has a show coming out that Jack has a lot to say about. There's other documentaries on CNN coming up. I don't know how many kids are out there now that are like, you know, purebred Kennedy anymore. I guess we got to wait and see who Jack Schlossberg
What do you
ends up
mean?
with.
Like, they've never been.
No, but they really sort of hold on to this idea that JFK and Jackie and Jack Schlossberg are like the, you know, like the top tier Kennedys, and then there's like, you know, RFK Jr. and his side. They all think that they're like on some different level.
I get what you're saying.
What I mean?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I highly recommend that book, Ask Not.
Yeah.
It talks about how like the whole Camelot idea was basically fashioned by Jackie Kennedy in order to secure her husband's legacy as like this young American family rather than being like a dirty cheater.
Well, and the thing we don't remember about
the biggest celebrity of the time,
the Kennedys, is that Jackie was a Bouvier, and that's really the American family that you want to follow. That's like Grey Gardens, you know?
Oh,
like
yeah.
Little Edie, Big Edie, the Bouviers. Like that's what the Kennedys and the Bouviers were extremely weird people, like just very eccentric, unusual, reckless people. And then to come together in this way, it's kind of like...
That's true. Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's again, I think it's like this weird family supremacy. Like when you think you're the best, like you can only marry the best, and you can only keep doing things to display your supremacy and like your superiority. And there is like a little bit of a eugenics piece to it.
Yes.
Where it's like, we wouldn't marry someone who like doesn't have the right education.
Hey, you know who else? Well, this is the downfall of all these like fucking families. Going back a couple weeks now to the Coldplay cheater situation. So we talk a lot about the guy, the astronomer CEO. That woman was married to a Cabot from Massachusetts, like the fucking cheese, okay? So like that family also is usually you marry into that kind of family pretty untouchable. To be caught up in a scandal as pedestrian as the Jumbotron at a Coldplay concert, this is the end of the American dynasty. The Cabots aren't even safe.
You know what I find to be egregious about that I just learned last night, that the CEO is trying to sue Coldplay.
Oh, Christ.
It's like, are you kidding me?
Get over it.
Are you joking? It's like, you met a consequence?
Well, he's about to, because there'll be no cheese for him. Can you imagine cheating with a cheese baron's wife? Like, oh, you dummy.
I don't know how the cheese baron...
What if he's like in with Cracker Barrel? Who's the other big cheese? He's like a Kraft guy or something. It's going to start another drama. Yeah.
Okay, but speaking of interviews, Hunter Biden was obviously, did himself, pretty freewheeling. But you know who else I saw being interviewed? This Texas state representative, James Tallarico, went on Joe Rogan. And this man is amazing.
He's great.
And I actually think he should run for president. I don't want to be premature about it. I don't know everything about him, but on some level, who gives a fuck about experience when you have Pete Hegseth running the military?
Yeah, that's all done.
And
we're done.
It's like,
with
do
that.
we need experience? Like, do we need people who know how to do the old way anymore?
They got to bring back the federal employees.
Run for president.
If they bring back the federal employees, it doesn't matter who the politician is. Yeah,
sure. Many such issues that need to be addressed. But this James Tallarico seems like such a lovely man.
What about senator for Texas?
So he can sit and be Susan Collins? Like, I don't why. Yeah. Like this is a rare man. Mm-hmm. He is a proud progressive Christian. He was a teacher. He did Teach for America. He has a really socially forward, socially progressive background in terms of he's worked with marginalized communities. He's really gotten his hands dirty in that sense. He's been in the Texas State House since 2018. So it's not like he's in his fourth term in the State House, but whatever.
Yeah, it's
pretty
get a bigger
important.
Platform. It's important,
but the thing is, he could get a big platform in a week.
Yeah.
He and the way he talks about his faith is really what, how it's such a turnoff to hear the Christians talk about their shit,
toxic
because it's
empathy.
like hypocrite.
No,
because it's just hypocritical.
Well, no, now they're owning it with toxic empathy and eminent grace.
But you know how it's like all this, it always feels so hypocritical.
Yeah.
This guy feels like he has the right idea. Like he really basically takes it down to like Jesus's main teachings of love your God, love God and love your neighbor. And he talks about abortion.
Can we play that clip? Should we play the clip?
We could play it.
All
yeah.
right, let's play the clip because I thought this was incredible too.
What do you think is the biblical evidence to support the opinion of being pro-abortion?
Mary is probably my favorite figure in the Bible. She's an oppressed peasant teenage girl living in poverty under an oppressive empire as a Jew, and she has a vision from God. God asks for Mary's consent.
I never even thought about it like that. Like the idea that Mary has consent, and that's the basis of his thought here is like you can't force people to create life, whether that's because they experience some sort of assault or abuse and then they get to choose, or they just choose that they don't want to create life. They should have that choice.
So I never thought about it from that perspective of the Christian teachings, but in Judaism, abortion is allowed. Yeah. It's, in religious communities, it's definitely not like the first highest preference, right. But it's not like they're like it's okay.
They have the
like they're not trying to have a teenager be pregnant. Like that's not happening. Like that is incest. Like all those exceptions, quote unquote. Like they're all very liberal about like those quote unquote that kind of thing. And so I think he really like takes it from that. So now he's in seminary. He's went to a seminary to like actually learn more about his faith. And the way that he had gotten, I think, a bigger profile is because he spoke out against displaying the 10 Commandments in schools. And his reasoning was basically like, you make every other faith feel marginalized. And we were founded on the separation of church and state. So he talks all about the founders and their basis for believing that, and how real faith and real religion is about being concerned with the most vulnerable. So the kid who is, a Christian sitting in a Christian school, of course they're going to feel like the 10 Commandments are good or whatever. But he also thinks that these hollow hypocritical faiths push people away. And he's absolutely right. So he is a really honestly, like, please listen to this guy. Tell me he wouldn't make a good president.
My sister went to Catholic school. They got the 10 Commandments hanging everywhere. They start with prayers all the time.
Well, that's kind of their whole thing in Catholic school.
They didn't turn out any better than anybody else, though. I'm going to tell you. So having it on the wall does not make you believe it even more. It's performative.
Hate it even.
Yeah. You're like, all right, it becomes casual and it becomes sort of like a joke, right? Speaking of Christians and Catholics, though, I was hanging with Sharon McMahon this week.
Cool.
And she at the National Governors Association in Colorado, and she taught me how to needlepoint.
Wow.
But we were talking about religion and the way that it shows up in the stuff that was going on at the governor's meeting. And she was saying, because she has like more experience with like the evangelical Christian world, that they are changing like a lot of the talking points that they had before, where it used to be hate the sin, love the sinner was like the thing. And now it's eminent grace is this term that they use that means that God has already decided who's getting saved and who's not. You won't know until you get to heaven. And your entire life, no matter what you do, God will be chasing you with his eminent grace, and you won't be able to escape it. And so no matter what you do throughout your life, no matter how bad you are, at some point, if you recognize and accept the eminent grace, then you are saved. And I was like, that sounds non-consensual, but also then why do all the Christians have to be mean to me until then? If God's eminent grace is just chasing me, I'll just like wait for it to catch up with me, I guess.
Well, what's funny? Having been exposed to a lot of religious thought theory, that's always what it comes down to. And it's like at the end of the day, if God's the final judge, who makes you the judge? That's what I always struggle with.
You're not the
I'm like,
gutter
okay,
lane
so why do
bumpers.
you get to tell me?
Yeah, I don't need bumpers in the lane to God, all right? I'm bowling by myself. I've got it together.
Right.
I'm going to figure this out. But now, in addition to that, the deep Christians who couldn't be more hateful, like, I'm not talking about all Christians, I'm talking about the actual hateful. Down, that way, are now saying, they came up with a new term, and I do not want to talk about this woman, but it's called toxic empathy, and it's this way that they are now describing the fact that empathy is a sin. And we don't have time to do it on this show.
You can't just make up new sins.
Chase it in your own time, but just be warned that this term toxic empathy and the idea that empathy is a sin is out there for these like deep right-wing, very sick, in my mind, Christians.
According to a Christian podcaster, empathy is a sin. You don't get a microphone and then get to decide what a sin is. Isn't that what cults do?
Yes. And these are Calvinist Christians. I don't know. I'm trying to learn about this stuff because I like to try and like reverse engineer it. Because the thing about growing up Catholic was we were in on the joke. We were kind of like, all right, yeah, we're going to sit here. Jesus was cool. He did a lot of dope shit. That sounds great. I'm going to go home. I want to see my little passion play. I want to wear my cool little jewelry. I want to have my nice little saints.
Stations of the Cross.
Stations of the Cross. Then I want to go home. So, but with them, and it is interesting to me that this is being more and more led by women, because I knew, you'd had like really toxic Christian pastors in the past, but they were typically men. And now we have the female podcaster Christian stuff. And
Can
I'm
you
like,
say more
shit,
about?
man.
Can you say more about what toxic empathy is?
So it's this idea that the progressive left is using your empathy as a Christian to toxically make you feel empathy for immigrant families being torn apart by ICE. Make you feel empathy for starving children in Gaza. Make you feel
What's the
empathy
toxic
for
part?
that it's toxic that the left is weaponizing your empathy as a Christian to get you to care about humanity. Or to care about gay rights or trans people, because no, you shouldn't use your empathy for any of that. Empathy, the radical left lunatics are testing you like Christ in the desert, and your empathy can be weaponized in a toxic way to turn you from the Lord type shit. I'm not limber enough for their mental gymnastics, but that's the take.
Okay, I've heard something that like rings in this category, which is, it's not quite that, but it's like that people are so open-minded that they'll like believe
Let
anything
in. Yeah.
Is that what she's trying to
Yeah,
say?
I guess
like,
so. Something like that, except they're literally saying
why
when
wouldn't
you feel
okay.
empathy, stop yourself, because that could be the devil testing you.
who do you get to feel empathy for?
Only
Or
the
is
Christian
no empathy
podcasters.
good?
Yeah, no empathy is good. Just the Christian podcasters, just the leader. Yeah. I don't
is
know. They're
crazy.
just trying to make people feel alone. This is the thing. If you divide people, you keep driving this rugged individualism, they'll continue to feel alone. The whole point of church is community, no matter what your religion is. That's why you gather in person together for a collective message, and you usually do service projects. They're trying to take all of that away and make church an aesthetic, and also make it something to commodify, and also make it something to give you moral superiority and high ground and sort of like immunity from having to participate in society. And that's why it's bad.
Okay, what I'm seeing it as is basically just a kind of stop sign
Yeah.
for feeling anything about marginalized people.
Yeah. Yep. It's a white supremacy
Just like
tactic.
stop.
Like that all-white community they're building in Arkansas. Which, like,
Yeah.
aren't there several all-white communities in Arkansas? I'm sure.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
not identified
this is
as such,
like-
but you guys are going so extra. The all-white community in Arkansas, because they believe that they deserve to have their culture preserved. I would love to know what that culture
no
is.
blacks, no Jews, no gays. We're out.
I don't want to go there. So
I don't
I'm
either,
glad
but I'm
you've
just
identified
saying.
it for me.
I know. I'm just saying, where on the outs? I think there should be blacks, Jews, and gays
I would love that.
towns.
Yes.
That would be great.
It's New York City, and I'll meet you at the Cubbyhole. It'll be great. And then we'll walk
Honestly,
over,
like-
get a nice bagel at Katz. We're
What a
right in that
fun-
neighborhood. It's perfect. Yes.
That's where I live. What,
Yes.
Literally, what a blessed idea.
It would be. Yeah. No, that's why. Look.
God's chosen vulnerable.
Yes.
We could call it the community, the toxic empathy community.
Yeah. When we'll test you, we'll be like, are you a good
Be like,
person?
do you feel bad for these starving children,
Yes.
or do you have an excuse?
Then you can't come in. You can't come in if you don't.
Or can
I
you
know.
justify
This is why I feel like gay bars should be allowed to be gay bars again, because like I think
Are they not?
No, they're like sanctuary cities for bachelorette parties now, and it's a little bit tough. And so
That's annoying.
It's okay. Look, I understand that women don't have safe spaces that they feel they can go to, hang with their girls, and not get roofied or hurt. And so coming to the gay bar was kind of like, it was sort of like you always had, it was the girls, the gays, and the theys at the gay bars, right? But then it really started to become a thing where it was like, I think with the popularity of drag, people were coming to the drag shows, and they
For the
should, right?
spectacle.
Straight people should absolutely give those girls their money and whatnot. But the idea of like, now it's like too much where there's more straight people at the gay bar than not. And then it's sort of like that it's diluting the culture. And so there's a little bit of a, there's a little bit, but go to drag shows. You know when straight people should go to the drag brunch? Go to that all day, baby. That's for you. The early shows, the 7, 8 o'clock drag shows, come to that. Come with your family. Give those girls all your money, okay?
Don't tell them.
Yeah, just have a good time. But like, come 9, 10 p.m. Gay people are trying to like meet people. Yeah, right. They're trying to like be in community with each other and dance and relax and kick back. So when you see like 20 girls come through in a bachelorette party dressed like the American Revolution or Pitbull, it kind of wrecks the vibe.
Yeah, I don't really. I agree with you. Like as someone who would do that on a bachelor, I wouldn't go late. But at like if I were to do I've done a drag brunch on a
and you
bachelorette
should.
party.
That's fun.
Or drag
that's good
dinner.
fun, of course.
Yeah,
that's
no,
what it's for. But don't
right.
come to the
I don't
cubby
really
hole
see
at
the point
10:30
of-
p.m.
I don't
like,
really get why you'd want to.
Because they're like, well, I just want to dance.
That's not your.
Well, I don't know.
Okay,
They
but
wanna,
there's
like,
a million
spectacle.
places you could. I guess your point is about the like roofing, but honestly, like I don't think that like straight, gay, whatever it is, like I don't think that necessarily means you're not gonna get roofied if
it's also
the wrong people are there.
It's the ogling of the gays that also becomes a problem with some of these parties. And if you're cool, I'm not talking to you.
That's why you need a show.
You know who I'm talking about, these bachelorette parties that have like a checklist. And one of the things on the checklist is like, kiss a girl before you get married. So then they go to the gay bar and they like, leave the lesbians alone, okay? We have enough
Same
problems.
penis forever.
Yeah. We have enough going on. I will say, in defense of the straights, some of y'all have come up with some really clever bachelorette party themes. I think it's the second wedding or the millennial weddings that we're seeing a lot more, but
That's probably a late first wedding.
American Revolution was one where people dressed like people from the American Revolution, which I thought was hilarious. Pitbull. There's a bunch of goofy ones, and I'm like, this is fantastic. I did not go on my friends' bachelorette parties when they had themes because I was like, my friend Katie did Gem and the Holograms, which I thought was a really good one, but I was like, I don't want to dress up.
We never had themes. We just
I went to
did
theater
like,
school, Sammy. Everything is
Okay.
every day is an opportunity for a new costume.
You're right. I mean, I would definitely dress like in theme of the place.
Like we're doing a
but
cool
that's
thing.
also like, okay, I'm going to the beach. I'm going to wear a bathing suit.
I'm
you know?
hoping that weddings make a turn and elopements become popular again because weddings have just gone so far. You know, it's like so crazy.
They've
Speaking
chilled.
of American culture, they're coming back for sure.
Okay, before the pandemic, they were like on
was
this
insane.
like Marie Antoinette curve.
Yeah.
Now, then post pandemic, I actually think
More chill.
it became like you could do a lot of different types.
Yeah.
And you could have smaller weddings and like you didn't have to invite everyone you knew.
I like
and
the
now
no
I feel like
bachelorette
it's
I like the no wedding party. I like the no wedding party. Just you
agreed.
guys
I
get
always
there,
thought
yeah.
that was like weird.
Yeah.
Like it all feels very handmaiden to me.
Yeah.
Like, what do you have to like wait on me because I'm the bride?
Yeah, like all go
it's
get
just
ready
weird.
together, have a blast, do whatever with your
Right.
girls. But when it comes
Take
time for the
pictures.
day, maybe you don't need 9 people that you. One from high school, one from elementary school, 2 from college, my best friend from work. Who's going to be in the audience? I need people in the audience.
A lot of other friends, but you don't have to wear. It's more about like for me. I don't like the idea of like everyone wears the same like weird color. Like
No.
Okay, so that's that on weddings.
All right.
I don't know how we got here.
All right, well, we have 10 minutes left, so let's do lightning round, all the things we wanted to say we didn't get to say really quick.
Okay, you have like 5 things on here.
I do. Number 1, I want everyone to know that Plymouth Rock is a scam. It was a story that was made up 121 years after the alleged arrival of Plymouth Rock. Don't go back to Massachusetts being a scam and a disappointment. Don't
How
go
big
visit
is the rock?
It's the size of my desk. It's a small rock. It's not even the rock.
How do they
Plymouth Rock
know
is a nightmare.
that that's the one?
It's not. They just picked one and were like, this is it. And then you go and you're disappointed. Don't go.
Why did they do that?
Because tourism, I guess. I don't know, but it's
That's
big
so
disappointment.
silly.
Okay, Sammy, you go.
I mean, I didn't believe that there was going to be a rock.
I did because
Like
I grew up in Connecticut and our education system is extremely colonial.
My random take is not that random, but I'm bringing us back to Jeffrey Epstein.
Yes.
And you know how he and Donald Trump fell out back in 2004, 2005?
Yep.
So did I tell you like why that happened?
No.
Because of the house?
Well, yeah, the
Okay.
real estate deal, the auction.
The
of
real
Palm-
estate deal.
Palm estate.
So Epstein wanted to buy this house.
That used
He
to be
brings
owned by
Trump-
Les Wexner, his financier. Yep.
Yes, originally.
Yep.
This is in Palm Beach. He brings Trump because he thinks Trump's a good contractor, even though he is innumerate, in the words of Michael Wolff. He thinks he's a good contractor and he wants to know where to like move the pool. Trump then wants to buy the house from Epstein. So Epstein's like, what the fuck? Like, this is messed up. Epstein knows that Trump doesn't have the actual money to do it. So he tries to tell the bank, like, he can't afford it. Trump then comes up with the money and puts up the most that it's ever, the highest price for a house.
41 million.
Trump has claimed a few things. He's claimed that they fell out because he found out Jeffrey Epstein was into young girls. He claims that because of this house. But Epstein told his brother that what happened was he knew Donald Trump didn't have the money and that if he was able to come up with it, he must have been fronting for somebody. And he gets this house. So Epstein's like, yeah, he's fronting for somebody. Trump then turns around and sells that house for double the price 4 years later to a Russian oligarch. And that was what was the most expensive real estate deal. And so it was Epstein who realized that Trump was in with shady people. And then Trump made it like, oh, I think this guy's into young girls. That's our favorite man. What do you think is going to happen here
With Epstein?
with all the Epstein stuff?
Oh, I think Ghislaine's got a pardon or a commutation of sentence. Absolutely. I think she'll get out. I'm already seeing. Here's the
then
thing.
what?
I don't know if I can move on. They're already moving on. I can see
think
the
it's gonna
bot
move
comment.
on?
Yeah. Not everybody. I think Trump will try to move it on. I think the Clintons are also trying to move it on. Seeing Hillary Clinton post about Gaza for the very first time was interesting timing, though she should, because things are really quite atrocious. So, because Bill's in there, you know,
They were friends.
The thing that people don't remember about Jeffrey Epstein, because we always think of him as the pedophile trafficker, there were adult women that he also trafficked. So just because Bill
Adult
Clinton
meaning
was
like 19
to 24, but I'm saying, and I'm not even accusing Bill Clinton of having sex with one of those women, right? We don't know that, but I'm saying the idea, there will be many people caught in this dragnet. Some of them will be pedophiles. Some of them will be opportunists. Others will be folks who were into weird orgies, right? He was doing a bunch of Diddy shit too, bringing in different people that he was prostituting. You can't prostitute a child, first of all. That's rape. And even the girls who were slightly of age were being promised lives, and he held immense power and sway over them. So you can't prostitute somebody who can't really give consent. But there was all that shit going on too. So I think we'll see a dragnet of a lot of different people's names, and I think Trump is hoping to move people onto those folks. I don't know that anybody does move on, but I will tell you that the Russian bots are all up in my comments and have found my Epstein stuff and have seeded in there. She was a victim. She was too afraid to speak at her trial.
Yeah,
Why was she
that's
afraid to
the
speak
new-
at her trial? He was dead. Epstein was already dead. Why was she afraid to speak at her trial?
Well, because I think that this was about more than him.
Fuck
you know what
her. Why is she so good now? Yeah.
No, she's not.
Yeah.
But I do think
they're on
I
her
do think
side,
she
though.
could have
They're
been afraid
getting
to
there.
speak at her trial.
You got
but
that free
I don't-
Ghislaine t-shirt lady out there.
Yeah, no, that's insane. Because let's be honest, I don't think this could have happened. This ring, without her. She was the one doing the hustle. She was the one finding the girls, grooming them, doing the operations. If Jeffrey Epstein walked up to these girls, do you think they'd be like, yeah, let me come give you a massage? Like, she was the key to the entire operation.
Jeffrey Epstein did not have a sex trafficking empire until he was in his mid to late 30s, and that is when he met Ghislaine, right? He didn't have any of this shit before her.
He was also his own number one client.
Right.
Like,
3
he was
times a
sex
day.
obsessed and, you know, sort of was the like man behind the curtain, but she was the one actually making it happen.
Right.
So we'll see. We'll see you on Wednesday night
We'll see you on Wednesday night.
to talk about it.
Next thing I want to talk about, good news. You know about
What?
Banana Ball, the Savannah Bananas?
No.
They're like they've created like a new version of baseball where they do the flips and they dance, and it's huge. It's a huge thing. It's called Banana Ball. And the Savannah Bananas is like the big team, but now they have multiple teams in this league. So the Party Animals have signed the first girl to the baseball team. She is number 1 on the Party Animals. Her name is Ashton Lansdell, and she played for Ole Miss. She played boys baseball for Ole Miss. She was also on Team USA's baseball team. So what I think is so interesting and wonderful about this is the Savannah Bananas and Banana Ball. It's a huge thing, like a huge cultural thing. And
Not
now,
that I'm aware of,
Well,
but-
yeah, you're a coastal elite, Sammy. We're talking about
I am.
regular people stuff. So she,
like Hunter Biden.
Yeah, Hunter Biden knows who they are. So she's playing for this team. She's an incredible player, Team USA baseball player, and I think it just opens up this idea of like intramural sports, but where she wasn't a softball player. She was a baseball player at Ole Miss.
Girls
okay?
and boys sports.
It's girls and boys sports. And so it's really exciting, and folks have really been responsive to her being there, and it's just been really awesome, and I think is super fun. That was my good news.
Love
one.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good news.
Yeah.
I have no good news.
What do you got?
Bank of America did issue a warning about extreme dollar flight
Yeah.
and dollar collapse.
Yeah.
So there's that.
That's in there.
So the debt, the debt is tied into that. A military catastrophe.
Yeah.
You know, you never know.
On military catastrophe, our skies are not protected from drones, and the Golden fucking Dome isn't going to do shit for us because we're not worried about missiles. We're worried about drones. So, yes, military catastrophe. There we are.
Military catastrophe. These wars could just not end.
Ever.
There's also the like slow death of we are economically isolated and which is happening. It's just like no one talks about that in America. Because that doesn't make it into the American media. What else? You know, China and Russia and Iran have been waging an information war against us. Our brains are all turning to mush. It's happening.
We're starting to think Ghislaine Maxwell should get a pardon, some of y'all out there. The mush is,
If this were World War II, we would be on the battlefield dead.
we would not know what we were doing. No.
The battlefield is the algorithm,
Yeah.
and we're all fucked. That's how I wanted to share how the world order would collapse. But you know, there could be turnarounds. You never know. And one day, us millennials, we
will be in
millennials,
power when we take over. Amanda Littman. When we're in charge, Amanda Littman.
when we're in charge, yes.
Read her book. It's such a good read. Or start yourself a little needlepoint project. Like me.
You and Emily and Sharon,
Emily
I'm
and
the only
Sharon
one in the
McMahon.
preachy
First of all,
females cast
this is
chat who
propaganda.
can't needlepoint.
No, this is propaganda for you, Sammy. Sharon was like, Sammy's going to see your project and see how fun it is, and then she's going to want to be a needlepointer and organize a girls' trip to England where we can like sip tea and needlepoint. I was like,
I'll go to England,
We'll
but I
try.
won't needlepoint. I'll read.
I said, I'm not sure that she'll needlepoint, but she might do something else. But she could still be in the chat.
Yes.
Join my needlepoint TikTok accounts someday. No, it is really fun. It's quite healing to do something with your hands, and doing something repetitive is apparently like very healing for you too. That's what Sharon was saying. So.
Anything that isn't scrolling on your phone is healing at this
I
point.
know. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'll be doing in the time I get back from recording American Fever Dream. I will be doom scrolling less, and I will be needle pointing more.
Well, we will see you.
What's our final thought? This is our last.
We'll
minutes.
see you when we see you.
We'll see you when we see you. See, this is the thing. It's like graduating high school, but then you're gonna like stick around town. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, I'm
We'll
not
see you
going to this
tomorrow.
school, but I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll be around town.
Yeah. That is how it feels.
We're in our townie era.
Should we play As We Go On, We Remember?
As we go on,
You can sing it.
Mine was I Believe the Children Are Our Future.
That was your yearbook quote?
Yeah, no, that was our song. Our song.
Oh,
or it was Greatest Love of All. It was something Whitney Houston, but it was something like very absurd that nobody could sing.
I don't remember if we had a song. I don't think so.
We did.
What was your yearbook quote?
Oh gosh, I don't remember. All I remember about my yearbook was that I posed like with a rose over my shoulder in a black, like off, like a black.
Oh, you could
cloak.
do like
No, we all had the
special
same
things?
thing. We all had the same thing. The boys
Oh.
had to wear a black tie and a black suit jacket, and I had to wear this like velvet bolero thing with a rose over my shoulder. I would
Really?
show the picture if I wasn't so absolutely horrified. No,
We got to wear whatever we wanted.
no, we didn't.
My yearbook quote was Katharine Hepburn. If you always do what interests you, at least one person is pleased.
That's a good one. See, that's a
And I
good way to
stand by
end.
it.
That is a good way to end with Sami's yearbook quote. You guys, this has been such a blast. I have loved every second of American Fever Dream. And who knows, maybe we'll bring it back in the future someday when political talk shows can last more than 3 hours before the news completely changes. But in the meanwhile, catch us on Substack. We'll be live tomorrow night with Katie Fang talking about all things legal. And then we'll be shit talking and speculating on Tuesday nights most of the time. So you can check us out there. And let me be so clear. When we say we're on the Substack, we mean our personals, okay? So you're going to be at Under the Desk News on Substack.
At Sami Sage Says.
Yes, and then we have different guests. We have Katie Fang, we had Tristan Snell, we have all kinds of different cool people. So at Under the Desk,
We begin
at
hanging.
Sami Sage Says. Come hang with us. It's free. You don't even have to subscribe if you don't want to.
And we will miss you.
will.
We thank you. We love you.
Thanks for tuning in.
And for the last time.
For the last time, I'm V Spear,
And I'm Sami Sage.
and this is American Fever Dream.
Good night.